Wouldn't it make sense to pay attention to an area that has multiple development projects with 8 to 9 figure valuations? I think so, especially when there's articles upon articles of how many people are flocking to this area, that area being Kissimmee, Florida. If you stick with me through this video till I'm on that fishing pier, you'll get some really valuable insight on why there's so much growth happening in Kissimmee, along with things to look out for if this is an area you're considering moving to / buying a home in. I guess to do that, we kind of have to start from the beginning, like the beginning. So fun fact, Kissimmee translates to long water from its early inhabitants, the Ororo tribe. If I were to guess why they called it long water, another fun fact, I guess, is that Central Florida, for a lot of the land here, used to be swampland until the mid-1800s, really, where there was a massive draining project to make the land more suitable for agriculture, as well as building buildings. But then fast forward to the 1970s, roughly, is where Walt Disney World actually opened here close to Kissimmee, and that really set an effect when it comes to the growth in this area. The population grew over 100% over the next decade. And from that point, Kissimmee really started to be known for tourism and entertainment, but as you'll see later on in the video, the economic makeup of this area is changing. But before we get to talking about the economic landscape and such, I think it's important to make this video more digestible, and usually I do that with clients by dividing Kissimmee in half. So West Kissimmee I define as west of this intersection, John Young 192, and East Kissimmee would be east of that intersection. So starting on the topic of proximity and dealing with West Kissimmee, you could be anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes to Disney, which certainly does play into the real estate options there, which we'll get to that in a sec. Anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes to the airport, and just about 30-35 minutes to downtown Orlando, give or take. West Kissimmee is really defined by entertainment and convenience to entertainment when you think of its proximity to the parks and such. Locals will often refer to this part of town as the touristy area of Central Florida. Old Town, that's there, weekly car shows, shopping, dining, rides, all that fun stuff. Right across the street from there is Central Florida's first ever permanent food truck park that has a ton of options over there. Also cool to me and probably somebody watching, some cool golf courses as well on this side of town. Falcon Fire Celebrations golf course. You can catch me playing night golf over at Orange Lake from time to time. As well as entertainment plazas fairly new to the area. So one of the really cool entertainment additions over the past couple of years in the West Kissimmee area is where I'm at right now, which is the Promenade at Sunset Walk. Here you have tons of different restaurants, some really cool entertainment options such as Escapology, which is like an escape room. You got Bento Sushi, you got Wharf for seafood, you got Lizzie's for barbecue, you got Cowboys Chicken, Bahama Bucks for your shaved ice. You got a movie theater actually back here. Really nice seats and also really nice chicken and waffles. Just a bunch of other shops and entertainment things. They have live music here, elevated dining, and it's really become a staple for this part of the community if you don't necessarily want to travel out to Winter Park for something. Out of 10, that's like what usually people do. Probably give it like a good 7.5.
How about value-wise? $12 worth?
$12 worth? Maybe on occasion. An even newer development was completed right across the street from here, WaterStar Orlando. This brought a couple more clothing department stores as well as some restaurant options, Lazy Dog, Portillo's, namely. But it's interesting when you look at their marketing material. Take WaterStar Orlando, for example. When you look at their marketing piece that talks about the economic drivers igniting massive growth, a lot of it has to do with vacationers. It mentions Reunion Resort, Margaritaville Resort, which the Promenade at Sunset Walk is connected to. A lot of what plays into this region is the amount of support it gets from the people that visit here annually. And so with Orlando expanding upon its prominent tourist attractions, I mean, you got $600 million going into the Orange County Convention Center alone, which hosts well over 200 events a year. We have a whole new theme park in Epic Universe, which I had the opportunity to check out. By the way, it is truly epic. Definitely recommend. You got expansions coming to Walt Disney World, and then a bunch of other little pocket attractions and expansions and things of that nature happening along the area. All of that seemingly is bolstering the confidence of developers to bring new and exciting projects to this part of Kissimmee. When you think of Everest Place or even Ovation Orlando, that's going to completely transform that corridor along 192 and I-4. 77 acres, over 650,000 square feet of mixed-use development, hotel, retail, really solidifying that part of Kissimmee as an entertainment destination. All that being said, no one is perfect, and I think that goes the same for any given area. Like I was saying to my barber recently, shout out to Christian, is that over the years of making content here on YouTube, I've gotten less comfortable with saying a certain area has really, really bad traffic, just because a lot of my clients, they tend to come from out of state, and when they do, they're like, is that it? That being said though, no doubt the Kissimmee area has experienced objectively worse traffic over the years, with all the new amazing people moving in looking to love and enjoy Central Florida. I do think the county recognizes this issue for more than one reason. When you look at the 2024 Road Capacity Network report, it has a lot of good info on there, but when you specifically look at the LOS grid, that gives a visual depiction of how jammed up a road may be from A through F. You don't see any A-type roads on there, but you do see quite a few Fs. And so there's a lot of roads in the Osceola County area that has really been impacted by the influx of folks. So it was really good to hear at last year's State of Osceola County's address about the 19 active road projects spanning all across Osceola County, from widening roads to repairs, all in effort to keep up with the capacity, really the continuously growing capacity of people moving to the area. They've also strategized around implementing new technology, dating all the way back to 2020 with their TSM&O strategic plan document. Interesting read there, talking about implementing smart traffic lights that detect the traffic flow in real time and adjust as such, having transit service priority when it comes to public transport being able to flow easily, and real-time data-driven redirections in the unfortunate case of a crash and such. There's also Vision Zero, wanting to reduce the number of roadway deaths to 0 in the county. And so although very important, it's not just about improving drive time and convenience, it's also about safety with the amount of people moving into the area. Another question I get that's not really related just to Kissimmee, but in general, is crime. How safe or unsafe is any given area? And in the capacity of a real estate agent, I can't say that an area is safe or not safe definitively, as that could be considered as me steering you to or away from a certain area. So I always tend to provide as best resources as possible. Niche.com is one that's pretty popular, crimegrade.org. My favorite would be city-data.com. There's all that stuff that you probably want to know that I am not necessarily going to divulge on the video. Definitely go check those out. And the other one is schools. For the longest time, a lot of the schools in Kissimmee, majority of them still are in some sense C-rated as per the Florida Department of Education. That might not be the final factor for you, but that is something to consider. However, over the years, we have seen some B-rated schools as well as A-rated schools in the Kissimmee area. So if schools are important to you and you want some more resources on that, be happy to provide those to you once we chat. So all that being said, and before I head to talking about the amazing project that I think is going to reshape the area, what are your real estate options like if you're looking to live in Kissimmee? Kissimmee has long been defined by its affordability when it comes to its real estate market. If I draw the average price comparison from today, 365 days back, we're looking at roughly $400,000. That is significantly less than the general Orlando market, which according to our last known monthly report, the average price is sitting at $486,000 in Orlando. Because of how large the area is, you really do have all the segments there: the condos, the townhomes, your single family homes, your larger single family homes. If you can remember earlier in the video where I said the real estate market in West Kissimmee really plays into the entertainment attributes of that area, well, that's because a lot of the short-term rental communities are located on that west side of Kissimmee due to the proximity to the parks. Depending on the type of buyer you are, you may find more of your options in one area over the other. The only segment I will say that is missing in a great amount for the Kissimmee area would be the luxury segment. If you're looking for custom homes, larger homes, maybe like the one I featured in my Dr. Phillips video recently, those aren't typically found in Kissimmee. However, that seems to be changing in the near future with the presence of Magnifica, supposedly to be located near the Celebration area here in Osceola County. Is this over 1,700 acre ultra luxury community, really trying to raise the bar for what a multi-billion-dollar residential neighborhood and resort should look like and feel like. According to the article by Growth Spotter, the homes are expected to vary in size from 3,200 square feet to 14,000 square feet on lots from 3/4 of an acre to 5 acres. This is really expected to attract that high net worth individual. We're talking direct competitor to Isleworth and Golden Oaks, the 18-hole golf course, which is more or less a staple for luxury communities, but it's also the master wine and cellar tasting rooms and the resident-only restaurant, farmers market, on-site vegetable and herb gardens, amenities for children and families such as obstacle and adventure courses, organized sports, gaming, and craft rooms. I remember being at their launch event for the community, and they talked about having an elevated culinary experience dedicated for children. And so it is just elaborate, over the top, something that this county has really not seen before. Definitely a project to watch, and if you want to be a part of it, feel free to reach out. But on that topic of new construction, there are also quite a few new construction options in the Kissimmee area, in particular East Kissimmee. So one example of new construction neighborhoods and offerings would be this one. I'm currently in Tahokwa. This part of the neighborhood is being built out by Pulte Homes. I'm currently in the Julep townhome model. This one they're configuring as a 4-bed, 2.5 bath, roughly around 1,800 square feet, and you're getting this for under $400,000. It's really interesting that when you have a production builder in any neighborhood, typically the floor plans get repeated over several neighborhoods. So the Julep floor plan isn't necessarily unique to Tahokwa, but what it does allow you to see is how they value the floor plan depending on the area that it's in. And when you look at Kissimmee compared to some of the other areas that you can buy this floor plan, it is significantly less expensive. Remember earlier when I said this? And from that point, Kissimmee really started to be known for tourism and entertainment, but as you'll see later on in the video, the economic makeup of this area is changing. Well, let's talk about that. Neo City. Neo City, located on the east side of Kissimmee, is an over $1 billion, 500-acre technology district, really among many things helping to transform the local economy in the Kissimmee area by bringing jobs from that high-paying sector of technology, particularly when it comes to smart sensors, photonics, and nanotechnology, which, just reading upon what that is incredibly cool, by the way. Nerd. When you look at their master plan, their expectations for long-term economic output is between $25 to $28 billion. Now, this is a project that launched in 2014, so we're just over 10 years in. And again, according to the master plan, by year 50, everything in Neo City should be complete. So this is definitely a project for the long haul, which is why I think it has the ability to transform the area. And we've already seen significant investment. Just last December, a company out of South Korea, a tech firm, partnered with Neo City, promising to invest at least over $400 million to build its manufacturing facility and world headquarters on the property in Neo City. We've also seen strides already in the education division with Neo City Academy, STEM-focused high school, which was ranked among the top public schools in Metro Orlando last year, according to Niche. And again, going back to more A-rated schools coming to Kissimmee, this is one of them. In its complete form, Neo City will have its residential options as well as retail, your shops, your dining, your live entertainment, trails, all the things that you come to enjoy in a community, which this area really hasn't seen much like it. It's been underdeveloped for a very long time. Definitely don't think the location was on accident when you consider that Neo City is in a federal opportunity zone. That was definitely attractive to investors, and that works well for the community because we get money pouring into this part of town, which changes the amenities and enhances the entire area. We're already seeing that with another $1 billion project not too far from here in Project Next, focused. This one being more redevelopment focused, which is nice to see. Expansion on the Osceola Heritage Park, which will be the nice new headquarters of the Orlando City Soccer and Orlando Pride Soccer Club, along with the addition of new hotels, apartments, retail outlets, restaurants, parking structures, and just an overall nice facelift to the community. And so although for a long time the East Kissimmee region hasn't really seen much but residential development and maybe a new retail spot here and there, I think having projects like these are going to solidify the expected change to come for this area, and it is really cool to see the transform in real time. Now, is Kissimmee the right place for you and your family to purchase a home? Maybe, maybe not, but hopefully this video brought you greater clarity on what it offers, what it doesn't offer, and hopefully somewhere in between that, it helps you make a better informed decision as a buyer. And if you're looking to purchase a home in Kissimmee or anywhere else in Central Florida, I'd love to partner with you as your real estate agent. So feel free, shoot me an email, info@orlandowithmario.com, or if you want to call or book a time specific and convenient to you, that can be found in my description down below. We'll see you on the next video.